Two people. Duchess, Thokoza Ndlovukazi, unjani? Please say hi. Give me something that shows me that you can hear me. I'm wearing these things. Lindiwe, Thokoza, how are you? Oh, 10. Wow, that was quick. I'm a little early, Tuli. Tuli, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Thokozani. Thokozani, Amanda, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. I'm on time today. This is great. Mbali, how are you? Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining. Mkhulu Matiwane, Thokoza Khehla ninjani? Gogo Nancy, Thokoza. Zugiswa, Thokoza. Tebelo, Thokoza. Thokozani. So glad you guys could make it here. If you guys can all hear me well, I just want to make sure. Yes, this is low. This went down somehow. Okay. So Nyangizane, if everybody can hear me, that's good. Lillian Thokoza, Hoiti Thokoza, Kolwane Thokozani. I'm going to start, Lydia. I'm going to start right at the top of the hour because I want to talk. I want to tell you some things, guys. So somebody's sending me pictures, and then it's coming down like this. So Jambase, Tebelo, Sandra, Zinhle, Thokozani Chamagwini, Lesedi Lehanya, Tovela, Kwaziwai, Muribwanji, Jambo, Kedu, Nangadef. They have included Wolof from Senegal. How about that? Thank you guys so much for coming on. Didi, how are you? So, let me tell you guys something. I have been meaning to do this live for a couple of days. And something happened yesterday, and I was like, I need to do this live because, yeah, this is an important live, and this is happening in the season of HERU. And I thought what we could do is maybe take one aspect of HERU. Vusi, I'm teaching, so no, you cannot join me. So I thought maybe in this season of HERU is take each of the qualities of an eagle or a falcon. Man, let's talk about this because there's some controversy out there. Guys, the eagle and the falcon are both high flyer birds. And in many, many African countries, it is the eagle that is used as a symbol of royalty, not just the falcon. I've had a lot of people trying to correct me and telling me, no, you should be talking about the falcon. Here's the truth. The Zulu word for eagle or falcon is ukozi. There is no distinction between the eagle and the falcon because they are both birds in the same family. And so in this season of HERU, HERU is Inkosana. HERU represents leadership. As an energy, it is an energy that embodies leadership qualities. And I think I listed them on a post. So I thought today, let's start with the one that is really important and that a lot of us struggle with, which is going solo. All right, what do I mean by going solo? In any journey that you embark on, guys, it is not everybody that you're going to be able to take with you. Let me put this way. Many of us are standing in our own way and preventing ourselves from moving forward because we do not want to walk alone. We are setting ourselves back. We are keeping ourselves on the ground instead of being able to fly because we are burdened by all these other people we want to drag along with us. Now, from a spiritual perspective, it is very important to understand that at certain parts of your journey, you're going to have to walk alone. Now, it is the nature of spiritual work, is that you are going to require times where you walk alone. Now, for somebody, say, who has to twasa ubungoma, the walking alone is easy. You can leave your family, you can leave your friends, you can go petweni. It's all structured, you're in there. You are with others, but you're really alone because it's you and your ancestors in that space. If you're doing things properly, you are alone. So this journey is harder for people who are sitting around at home. The spiritual journey is harder because there are so many distractions and there is no structure. So it's very easy to get into the trap of wanting to always have others around you. Here's a typical example. You are spiritually awakening, you are discovering that there are certain things that you no longer buy into, like the fairy tales that have been collected and put in a book, the ones that were used to lawyer us and tagata us into stupidity. And you find that you're coming out of that darkness. You are now embarking on this path where you're learning more about who you are. You're learning more about your history, your philosophy as an African, as Umuntu. You're learning more about your spirituality and what that means. There are many people who have a tendency, as they start their journey, to want to drag others with them. And I'm here to tell you that you're going to slow your own progress down because you're trying to pull others along. Sometimes you're trying to pull people along who don't want to come on your journey. They're not where you are. They don't understand this new person that you've become. Now, I want us to look honestly at the reasons why you want to drag people along with you. The first reason could be that you're scared to go alone. You're embarking on something new. It's wonderful. It's great. Everything you're learning and you're hearing is resonating with you in your spirit. Your DNA is answering back and saying, yes, 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 it's all here. But there's still a part of you that's scared. There's still a part of you that's like, what if? It's normal. But it is in those times that you need to sequester yourself and walk this journey alone. So instead of trying to ease that discomfort by pulling others with you, take that opportunity, those moments of fear, to go and push ahead on your own. Because literally, your own growth will be stunted if you stay stuck in trying to pull along people with you. The other reason could be that you are fearing the unknown. I mean, for a minute there, when you come out of that darkness of the fairy tales, the fairy tales. When you come out of the darkness of the fairy tales for a moment there, you're not sure. You're still a little unsure about whether there, just in case there is a hell, that you're going to go and burn in. Maybe let me take a couple of companions with me so we can burn together. Right? Confront that. But stop trying to drag people along with you, whether you're going to hell or not. You're going to go on your own. You were born alone in this world. And at the end of the day, you're gonna go alone wherever it is we're going, right? So that's something to look at. Why are you trying to drag people? Another could be that you genuinely found this amazing new path. You have come into your own and you want others to feel what you feel, to hear what you're hearing, to experience what you're experiencing. All well and good. However, you are going to need to walk that journey. You may be in companionship with a lot of other people, but you're still going to have to walk it alone. Now, here's the other thing. Sometimes, in order to elevate, you need to isolate. What do I mean by that? There are times where you have to be on your own if spiritually you're going to elevate. What this means is you have to get rid of distractions, and human beings are a big distraction. There are a lot of other distractions. And when I say solitude, going alone, what is solitude? You strip yourself off of all the things that you're normally doing in your life. You strip off yourself of social media. Yes, you may need to say goodbye, Gogo Umkulu, for a minute, a week, 2 weeks, where you might need to sequester yourself. It's important. I can't sit here and say, you come here and watch every day, because then I know for sure that you're not growing if you're here watching every day, right? You may need to stop frequenting certain places that you normally frequent. What you're trying to do when you sequester yourself and you go solo and you go into solitude is you want to give yourself, your higher self, the opportunity to speak to you. You want to give your higher self the opportunity for you to get acquainted. In other words, you want to hear your own voice. Because a lot of the times when we're around people, it's other people's voices that you're hearing. And in the end, especially when you're starting out on a new path, you don't know what your voice is yet. So you're hearing Mkulu's voice, you're hearing other Mkulus and other Gogos voices, you're hearing TV voices, you're on YouTube, you're hearing a multitude of voices, you're on TikTok, you're hearing voices, 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 voices. But ultimately, the voice that you need to get so totally acquainted with is your own voice. Now, with all that noise and all that commotion, how are you going to hear your own voice? Because your own voice doesn't sound like Mkulu's voice. Your own voice is an internal, quiet voice. Doesn't shout. So you're going to need to go into solitude and you're going to need to be still and be quiet so you can hear your own voice. Another reason why you need to go into solitude or go solo sometimes is you need to get comfortable with being with you. Are you hearing me? You need to get comfortable with being with you. You, and you. You need to be able to sit with you and feel comfortable with who you are. Why is this important? Because that comfortability with who you are is what gives you the confidence to then go out and do whatever it is you need to do. You can't borrow other people's self-confidence. You cannot. Other people can encourage you. But ultimately, the confidence to step out and do the thing that you know you're supposed to be doing will come from you being comfortable with the authentic you. You can't know the authentic you when you're busy fashioning yourself around what other people are saying you are, what you ought to be, who you should be, who you shouldn't be, how you should look, how much weight you should lose, blah, blah, blah. You cannot. You need to be still by yourself and get comfortable with the authentic you. You may find that when you're sitting in solitude one day, actually, you know what? I cannot stand braids. But you've been wearing braids because that's what everybody else around you's been doing, and that's the fashion. But you personally, you yourself, you hate that. Get comfortable with you not liking a certain thing and be comfortable being able to say, I'm different. I walk this way. This is how I want to be. This is who I am. The I am is a very, very important thing, Kindred. You have to be able to say I am in its fullness. And you can't do that if you really don't know who you are. That is why time in solitude to get comfortable with yourself so you can step out and say I am with confidence is very important. Solitude is also very important. Going it solo is important. To work on your shadow. What do I mean? It means that when you go quiet and you're by yourself, you cannot ignore the nagging things that are eating at you. You cannot ignore your emotions. It's an opportunity for you to check in with your emotions, Find out why you're feeling a particular way. Confront that and deal with it. Think about it this way, guys. When a seed has to grow, right? One seed, we put the seed in the ground and we cover it. We don't see the seed, we don't hear the seed, we don't smell the seed. The seed is invisible as far as we're concerned. Then the seed inside this shell is going through certain processes. Even if you were to dig that seed out, you cannot see those processes. Why? Because they are hidden. Solitude. And then these processes are hidden in the shell, which is then hidden in the ground. Do you see how deep solitude has to be? Then suddenly, when all is said and done, the seed will sprout out of the shell and then it'll work itself through the soil and then you will see the seed. But everything has been happening in the dark, in silence, in solitude. This seed is solo. The seed will come up and suddenly see other seeds sprouting. Oh, hi, we are together. We are in a field. We are in a field of nyawuti. We are in a field of sorghum. Wonderful. But it had to go solo in order for it to bring forth that which it needed to bring forth. Am I making sense? Tell me if I'm making sense. I am? I'm making sense? Give me some hearts. Something. Tell me I'm making sense. Good. I am making sense. Thank you. So it is critical that you do this. Also, when you go into solitude, you become more aware of yourself. What does self-awareness mean? Self-awareness means being in tune with, say, what's going on in your body. You know, some people don't know that they're sick until they're really, really sick. You know why? Because they're too busy to actually feel what's going on in their body. And it's important to feel what's going on with their body. There's some people who are so in tune with their body, they literally can feel the blood flowing in their veins. It sounds crazy, but do you know there are people like that? There are women who are so in tune with their body that they know the moment they conceive, like, I've conceived. They know the moment of implantation. There's a little burrowing somewhere. Yeah. They know. Why? Because they are that much in tune with their body. And so solitude helps you to become more self-aware on that level. So now you're self-aware on an emotional level. Why am I feeling the way I do? Fix it. Secondly, you're now in tune with what's going on with your body. Why am I feeling in my body the way I do? I've got backache. Didn't notice that before because you were too busy, too loud. When you're still in solitude, literally, you can feel what is going on within your body. This gives you an opportunity to fix it or to get help or to exercise, whatever it is you need to do. The third thing is you need to become more aware of what's going on in your mind. Many of us are thinking thoughts and we don't know we're thinking thoughts. Why? Because the thought process is a fraction of a second you have a thought. You can miss it. What people don't realize is what informs your thoughts is your subconscious. So sometimes you're not even aware that you have a pattern of thinking that is actually destroying you, or a pattern of thinking that is setting you back from your goals. So you're busy running around wondering, why am I trying? This is not succeeding. Why am I trying? This is not succeeding. Well, because you're not aware of what's going on up here. If you're not aware of what's going on up here, then you're definitely not aware of what's going on your hard drive, which is your subconscious mind, which feeds this conscious mind. Thoughts, guess what? Thoughts become what? Thoughts become things. So by becoming aware of your thoughts in solitude, you become aware of what's going on your hard drive, like what is informing these thoughts. If you have a pattern of negative thinking, it's very easy to pick it up then. And then you can do something about that. Because when you think chronically over something, so, I'm going to have an accident. Oh my God, I'm going to have an accident. Oh my God, well, you know what? You're going to have an accident. You will. I swear. You can call an accident for yourself. Easy. Basic law of manifestation. You can change your thought patterns, right? But you can only change that which you acknowledge is there. So if you don't know what you're thinking in the first place, how are you going to change the thing? You got to become aware. And that requires you to sequester yourself and to be on your own. Now, a lot of spiritual people go on retreats. That is the beauty of going on a spiritual retreat. But, you know, a lot of people don't have access to those kind of things, right? You can put yourself in solitude in certain ways. There are people who will go on a 3-day fast of not speaking. You still go about your chores, whatever it is you're doing, but you just tell yourself, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm not engaging in anything. If I go to so and so's desk and they're talking, I'm going to move away quickly, because you're trying to sequester. You're trying to create solitude for yourself. So you can hear yourself think, so you can feel your feelings within your body, and so you can get in tune with your emotions. It's very important. The other thing is, you also need to go into solitude in order to be able to boost your creativity. What is creativity? Creativity is what? Creativity is basically what we call, in Kemetic terms, divine inspiration. How are you going to get divine inspiration if you're constantly surrounded by noise? Mind you, sometimes it happens. But a lot of the times, divine inspiration, those aha moments, come when you're sitting quietly by yourself and you are in harmony, and then those aha moments come. And you're like, geez, why didn't I think of that before? Well, somebody just gave it to you. Downloads. People talk about downloads the whole time. Download this, download. You can't download where there's a lot of noise, because when it comes, you won't be able to articulate it enough to bring it out. Right? So, solitude is very, very important for boosting your creativity. Solitude also gives you an opportunity. Now you've got all these downloads, you've got these ideas, your creative juices are flowing. Well, you're still going to need solitude to sit with those and plan. How are you going to execute? Right? You're going to need some sort of a plan. It can't be a haphazard, okay, I got this, I'm going to. You got to have some sort of a plan to say, okay, this is where I want to go. Now, how am I going to get there? That requires solitude. That requires time on your own, right? Then you're also going to need solo time when you want to reflect on how you are doing towards your goal. Do you need to make some adjustments? Are there some steps you need to add in the process because it's not working out the way you thought it would? Those things require time alone. You need time alone to meditate. Now, I know there are a lot of people who are like, oh, this meditation, I can't do it. Meditation is going to be hard for you if you're not accustomed to being on your own. But it is a practice that if you do consistently, try giving yourselves 10 to 12 minutes every morning to sit in silence. Sometimes you will sit in silence and you will hear loud, like you're with time, your mind will learn. You will learn to have thoughts and let them go, have them and let them go, until you get to that point with practice where you really can be still. Some people do yoga poses, right? You can do some yoga poses and some stretches as long as it is something that allows you to be in touch with you. For some, yoga is actually easier than sitting and meditating, because with yoga, there are body movements that you are doing. And so that is where your conscious mind goes. But then there's a lot of other activity going on your subconscious mind. So some people do yoga, which is also good for your body, by the way. So take time to do these things. Go in solitude to journal. Give yourself at the end of the day 10, 20 minutes. Pull out a notebook. I've got notebooks all over the place. Pull out a notebook and write. Write raw. Write it ugly. Write what comes. By the way, here's the thing about writing, guys. There are many people who journal with the anticipation that someone will pick up their journal one day. So you're not entirely honest with yourself. The idea with journaling is to be brutally honest. If you feel like, write it. I feel like today. Don't judge the things that are coming out of you when you write, because then you will censor yourself. And once you censor yourself, you're going to repress. And once you repress, we know what happens with repressing things. They come out at all the wrong moments, at all the wrong times, to all the wrong people. So make sure that your journal is kept. Hey, listen, if you need to dig your journal in the ground and dig it out when you want to journal, do what you got to do. But let your journal be the place where you are brutally honest with self. So don't write your journal with the expectation that, hey, in case someone picks this thing up, oh, yeah, there are bombs in there. I can't. No, because it's not authentic, right? Secure your journal however way you need to secure it. I have a friend whose journal was in the tool shed. So she had a tool shed, right, where they kept all the garden implements. And then she had and then one of the panels on the floor, like one of the floorboard panels, lifted, and that's where she kept her journal. She didn't journal daily, but I kid you not, and she would journal in there. So now she'd found her place for solitude, which was in her tool shed, where she would pull out her journal and she would spill everything out. Then she would hide it again. So do what you got to do. We are living in a hectic, busy world. A lot of us live with family members. We are in a crowded space. A lot of us have significant others. You have partners, you have a husband. There are things that you want to speak honestly. You're not going to do it if you think that your journal is going to be picked up by someone. So make sure that your journal is secured, right? This is your journey. Like I said, so got to get real with you, right? The other thing you can do is spend time in nature. When you do your solitude journey, I envy you guys out there in South Africa. I wish I could flip my phone and show you what it looks like out here. We are literally in some people call it a winter wonderland. Angazi, wonderland. It's pretty to look at, but it's a mess. So you may find that you're spending inordinate amount of hours inside. I will occasionally put on a coat, boots, and step out because I really need it. So those of you who are in areas where, man, you can go for a hike, you can go Eswatini if it's safe, spend time in those spaces. It does your spirit good. And even if you take someone with you because it's not safe, you can still be in solitude with that person. Okay, you go that side of the mountain, I'm going to stay on this side. And then be in that solitude. Yeah. So I hope that what I have shared helps. I really do. I just felt like it was something that I needed to do today, like I said, because it really is about getting authentic with yourself and really finding out who you are. Finding out even simple things like, what do I like? What do I not like? So many of us are just swimming with the current. We're just swimming without full knowledge of self. If you don't know who you are, and I'm not, look, you may be 50, maybe 60. There's no timeline as to when you get to know yourself. But at the end, it is essential that you get to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you won't know what your purpose on this planet is. One of the first questions anyone ever asks themselves, an existential question, is who am I? Who am I? Like, really, really, who am I? To answer that deeply, you're going to need to go solo. And the longer you keep trying to pull people along with you, you are literally hindering your own growth. Go get you taken care of first. And then you can come back and call others. And in fact, you won't even need to do that because people see transformation. People see you when you grow. People see you when you flourish. People start to see these changes in you. And then that is what is going to attract them to whatever it is you're doing. One of the things I always say on spirituality is that we don't recruit, and neither do we try to convert. We live it and then we teach, like I'm doing with you guys, right? That's it. And we share information. So, guys, you are scared of snakes, Esatini. Okay, so if you are scared of snakes, Esatini, then go to the river or go to the beach, something that connects you with nature and the land. Now she's going to tell me she's scared of water. And then she's going to tell me, then she's going to tell me she's scared of water. Aibo. There's nothing to be scared of in nature because you are nature, right? Just make sure wherever it is you go that you are safe. And when I say safe, I mean, safe from, sad to say, but safe from other humans who look like you. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time. I wish you so much peace on your journey. And yeah, don't be scared to go it alone. There are times where you need it. Okay? It's always it. Love you guys.